Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. The thing that I want to talk about today is a little bit about squats. I'm going to do a squat react to my old squat videos. And these are not a good sight. These are not a good thing. You know, click away now if you want to see if you don't want to see how horrendous my squats used to be, / still kind of are, but you know, we're getting there, we are improving. But we're going to start back in the day. Again, you know, if you're going to dish out hate into the world like I did by bashing other people's deadlifts and squats, you got to be able to, you know, absorb some of that. So here's what we're going to do today. So we are starting back when I first started lifting in September of 2016 now. I started lifting in March, and this is 135 plus bands, and you can see this. So the first thing, this is kind of like how my brain works, analytical mode, starting now. As I am descending, you can see that I'm not really engaging anything. I'm just kind of like going down, going up. I'm not really thinking about it. I'm literally just thinking, oh God, this bar is on top of me and I don't know how to stand up. You can see that my adductors aren't really working very well to be able to push my knees out to prevent injury. My knees were definitely collapsing inward. So every time I would watch a video, especially from the front, you would just be able to see my knees going in every single time that I would stand up. It's like very odd. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of lifters that still do this, especially at meets, because you're trying to max out. You'll see a lot of people, they're just like using every ounce of like strength that they have to be able to like just get the weight up no matter at what cost. But obviously over time, that's not a good thing in terms of injury prevention, which I am all about injury prevention and recovery. I am the recovery queen. So basically, he's also tapping my hip, basically telling me, you know, sit your hips back, sit your hip back. And he did that all the time because I just never like connected that mentally to think like, okay, I need to drive my hips back to be able to stand up, to be able to engage my glutes is really kind of like what that's telling me. Again, all this is very simple stuff. It's just making yourself do it when the weight's heavy and you're under pressure is very hard. So those are two things that I notice. Last thing that I'll mention, at least with this clip, is like the strain. Yeah, my neck is like super strained, and like obviously like when you're like this and then you have a bar sitting on top of it with like 135 pounds like right on your vertebrae, doesn't feel so good. So eventually I had to learn to, you know, stop doing that. So we're gonna move on a little bit because that was bad. I don't have too many squat videos, unfortunately, probably because I knew that. Oh, this was back in the day. So I was like, I want to stop while I'm still on top. Hashtag what I rest days. That is not a good suggestion to anybody, by the way. So this was when I was lifting. This was only 185, and I like should not have lifted. Oh my gosh, that is just, it's literally just so bad to watch. Okay, so before I even start, I go like, you shouldn't do that. I almost got red lighted at the past meet that I had because I did that. So 100% recommend don't do that. Just take a breath. You don't need to do that. You can just go and you're good. You don't need to do like the whole make a whole big scene out of it. Nobody cares that much about your squat. So anyway, I stand up. This is beltless, so I definitely needed a belt at this weight because I was like not as strong. And then as I'm going down, oh my gosh. So you can see my neck is like all the way up here. You can also see like I'm like so scooting far forward. Like my chest is so far out and my butt comes up so high. Like basically I look like I'm trying to twerk while I'm squatting. Like I'm really like putting my butt out so like everybody in the whole gym can just see. That's kind of what it looks like to me. Again, I'm not trying to be inappropriate, but like that's literally what I'm doing. Like I'm sticking my butt out like way too much. I'm not keeping a neutral spine. I'm not keeping it tight. My elbows are out here like this. Like I'm just ready to like hit my spotter behind me. Which again, you don't want to do that. You want to keep everything tucked, everything locked. You want to keep your core tight so that way when you're sitting down into the squat, you're descending into it, everything's already tight. I can just tell that my legs were just really not engaged at all during this, which it's a squat, so your legs kind of need to be engaged. So moving on, here's another video actually around the same time frame in November 2016. I do the same jump thing, and that was a grinder. Okay. I do the same jump thing. My elbows are really out. They're like hitting Tim. And then I can barely even stand up. I just remember I did not even feel my glutes working at all. And so again, going down and then standing up, yeah, like I literally got stuck. I think he literally picked me up after the rep because like I couldn't even stand up. Because what I did is that I descended, but I wasn't engaging my glutes, so that every single time I would stand up, I'm just trying to like re-engage those muscles again. And I think I said it in my squat video also, but Jimmy Howe, shout out to him, because I actually had him watch one of my videos, or watch me actually at the gym, like, this was only like a year ago, and he said to do that, or I watched him do that or something, and I was like, oh my gosh, the stars aligned, the world clicked, and I realized that I was squatting really bad all along. So, realizing how to engage your glutes during a squat is 100% important. You can even watch him doing it. You see how fast he stands up, because it's like everything's just already engaged and tight, and so you stand up and there's so much more power there. Shout out. Anyway, so moving on. Yeah, that was pretty bad to watch. Yeah, as you can see, this is how I felt a lot about, working out, because it was hard. Here's another squat video still at Die Hard. I have a lot of videos from there because I thought it was so cool. I don't even need to talk about this. Literally all the same issues just happened. Yeah, this was 6 months into powerlifting, doing 225. I mean, that's pretty good, but still, yeah, I got stuck at the bottom. I got stuck in the hole every single time because I wasn't engaging right. So now, here's a little bit later on. This is actually front squats, 2017. Again, they're getting better. Like, it wasn't great, but it was definitely getting better. And you can see there's a little bit of that butt wink where I'm kind of like sticking my butt out. Like, it's called a butt wink when you like stick your butt out and you're not like really engaging it. You got to keep keep everything tight, keep your pelvis tucked. And I just didn't really know that was a thing until a while later. But yeah, front squats, these are looking all right. I'll give myself that. I'll give myself that one. Here's another squat video. Let's see what happens here. 90%, 2 sets of 2. Happy with my power coming out of the squat. Got to get deeper, though, if I want to get the white lights, because right now I am at red lights. Facts. Yep, I'm definitely not sinking low enough into the squat. When you are squatting, especially at a meet, you want to make sure that basically your femur and your hips are parallel to your knee or lower. So parallel or below. If they're not, you're going to get red lighted and you're not going to get a lift, and it's not going to count towards your total. So you don't want to do that. A good way to be able to perfect that is to just record videos like exactly like this from the side, to be able to actually see it and have some friends maybe look at it, or some people who are maybe not friends, but like people who are actually in the powerlifting or just lifting community who can actually tell you and be honest with you if you're hitting depth or not. Because if you're not hitting depth in your practice, you're not going to hit depth at your meet. That's just facts, bro. Yeah, squats got a little bit better. This, I remember, yeah, 95%, 235 on the bar. Oof, it was heavy, and that was definitely not depth. But, let me see. Yeah, that just wasn't depth. I'm doing everything that I was just saying that I need to do better. So, yeah, I don't really have anything for that. I don't have videos from my meet, unfortunately. Let me see. Oh, here's one. I remember this. Yeah, so with this video, you can clearly see the elbow thing that I was talking about. Elbows so far back, and you can see that I'm trying to, so like when I go down, since my elbows are like this, as I'm standing up, I try to bring them up to stand up, but because they're already like this and everything's already loose like here, I can't actually do that as I'm standing up. They need to be engaged already as you're descending in the lift, so that way when you're standing up, you keep the bar, everything tight, and you can just like power up. But because I didn't know that, I wasn't doing that. Same thing, even if you look right here at my left foot, look at the foot, how my heel's coming off the ground because I'm not driving with my heels. I'm putting all the weight on the front of my foot, like the ball of my foot. A lot of people do that. I bet you watching this video, no, I'm just kidding, but there's a lot of people that do that, because what we do, like, I feel like, I don't know if it's human nature or whatever kind of nature it is that we try to put the weight towards the front because for us it feels more stable and it maybe feels a little bit easier, especially because most people have super weak glutes, that we think that that's going to help us and make the lift easier. But in turn, unless you actually just lower the weight and learn how to progress efficiently, you're never going to develop stronger glutes because you're using all the wrong muscles to be able to get up. So, man, I got heated. Sorry. But yeah, so same thing. The butt wink, I'm kind of doing the same thing. It's a little bit better. It ain't great. And like my neck, again, super like looking up really high, because I thought that by looking up really high that would help me with the lift, and that's stupid. But yeah, so that is that one. We're gonna just mosey on past that one. I only posted deadlifts for a while. Oh, here's my squat video. Hey, from my meet. This was I posted this in 2018, but this is from my meet in 2016. So look at this. So going down, standing up, I'm doing that exact thing that I was telling you guys about the knees caving in. You can see it very, very clearly in this video that my knees are going in as I'm standing up, again, because the weight is very heavy for me. So look at that here. So I'm standing, I unrack it. My elbows are already not in the right position. And then my knees go in, out as I'm standing up. So again, just not engaging the right muscles, and my muscles just aren't strong enough. So here's another one. Basically doing that weird jump thing, going down, going up. I was not in the right shoes. Look at my heels coming off the ground so much. These shoes already were elevated at the heel, so like that's just normal stance, but you can see how much it's going up, how much I'm struggling. And you can also see how I was actually really trying to push my knees out. You can actually see that in the video, out. Like you can see as I was standing up, I was really trying to do that. Deadlifting, okay, and headstands, I don't know. I do weird things at the gym. So that is that. Here's one. No, that's just a picture. Here's some squats. I did like super lightweight. So now you can see I'm actually putting all those things into practice. But this was, 2019. I was training with Brittany, and she's awesome too. She helped me out so much with everything. And you can see now my heels are on the ground. I'm pushing my heels down. I'm pushing my butt down. There's no butt wink. I'm pushing my chest up. My elbows are tucked. Everything looks good. And again, it's super lightweight. For me, I would say this is an A+. I would give myself that pat on the back right there. These were just more exercises. Looking thick. Okay. But yeah, so definitely got a lot better. Understood form a lot better. This time around, I don't know if this is actual video or just me trying to look cool. Yeah, that's just me looking cool. Sorry. Here's one. Thanks, Irving, for the spot. I appreciate you. Going down, up a lot better. Like that, it went so smooth. I was like, wait, what's wrong? There's something wrong. Yeah, honestly, for me, I would say that's pretty dang good. If I was going to change anything, let me see. I mean, honestly, it looked pretty good. I mean, I know there's obviously things that I can fix. Maybe just power out of the hole, like just standing up stronger. Honestly, when I did that, I did not know that the weight was going to go up. So that was a plus for me. Who knew? And then here is my actual powerlifting meet, the most recent one that I had. And here is my squat. So here I am getting ready to squat. I do my little bouncy bounce shimmy thing. I tuck my elbows in. See that? They're still far out. I still can work on that. Figuring out my stance. Waiting for the judge. Going down. Pretty solid. Like, that was definitely better than the first video from the first meet that I had. Obviously, it could definitely use some work, but I would say it was a lot better, honestly. We aight. And then this is just the most recent one, again, just so that I can give you guys some reference from here. And then you can see as I'm descending into the squat, I'm focusing really, really hard on keeping my elbows down. And you can actually see that in the shirt that I'm wearing. You can literally tell like how my traps are and everything, and my shoulders. You can see the tightness in the shirt because I'm like yanking and pulling my elbows back. So you can see that. And when I was doing it, sitting back and really firing up those glutes to be able to stand up, pushing my knees out, because when I did that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have not lifted in a long time, and that felt really hard. So that's kind of how that was. Again, we are going to be working on bringing the strength back from all that, but I'm also like in the middle of a cut, and so it's definitely different. So calories are lowered, and then doing that after a lot of heavy lifting. But I know this video is very long, but I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it kind of gave you some points of reference to be able to kind of look at your squats as well and see, you know, okay, is there something that I'm doing that maybe I could have improvement on? And, you know, with all my videos, I've been trying to keep them pretty short, but I feel like for these kinds of things, I'd rather have them longer so that if there is someone who is more of a beginner, they can actually watch and analyze my progress as well with me. So that way it can actually help benefit you in the long run, as opposed to just making a super quick video. My video got cut off a little bit, but I just want to say thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you guys learned a little bit from this video, and go out and live your best squat life.